Welcome to week 10 of the Industry Readiness program. This week, one pipeline turns 500 plus documents into ranked context for Claude, 14 minutes. Week 9, locked in the system prompt contract, refusal format, tool policy with call limits, prompt caching. This week adds a 500 plus document corpus indexed, a hybrid retriever combining vector and BM25, precision R5 of at least 0.8 on an evaluation set, and retrieval-augmented generation wired into your system prompt. The question this week: where does the retrieve context go, and how do you know it is the right context? Retrieval-augmented generation at 30,000 feet. Stage 1, embed, turn chunks into vectors. Stage 2, store, pgvector, or Azure AI search. Stage 3, retrieve, OK by similarity. Stage 4, rerank, cross-encoder refinement. Stage 5, inject into the context window. Every stage is a place where precision can collapse silently. Measure each. Chunking strategies. Fixed, n tokens per chunk, good for homogeneous documents like specs and reports. Sliding, n tokens with overlap m, good for long-form prose and cross-paragraph concepts. Semantic, split at paragraph or section boundaries, good for structured handbooks and AQs. By heading, use markdown headings, good for technical docs. Code-aware, abstract syntax tree splits, good for source code corpora. Pick the strategy that matches your corpus shape, not the one that sounds smart. Embedding model choice. OpenAI text embedding 3 small at 1536 dimensions, 2 cents per million tokens, the default for English tech documents. Text embedding 3 large at 3072 dimensions, 13 cents per million, when recall must be best. Cohere embed v3 at 1024 dimensions, 10 cents per million, multilingual and good for Sinhala and Tamil. Buy a small n at 384 dimensions, self-hosted, on-prem option with low dimension and fast inference. Bistec default. Text embedding 3 small for English. Cohere embed v3 for Sinhala and Tamil. Store the model name with the vector so you can re-embed cleanly. Vector store trade-offs. pgvector lives in your Postgres, one fewer system to operate, transactions across data and embeddings, performance ceiling around 10 million vectors. Azure AI search, hybrid built-in, scales, managed, but costs more in Azure only. Pinecone, purpose-built for vectors, fast at scale, another service to operate. Readiness and VV8, open source with self-host options, you operate them. Bistec default, pgvector on the existing Postgres instance, one fewer service. Transactions across your data and your embeddings, hybrid SQL plus vector in one query. Upgrade to Azure AI Search only when you exceed 10 million vectors or need the managed ranker. Default means default. Diverge with an architecture decision record. Not to buy. Ingest pipeline discipline. For every source document, compute a SHA-256 hash of the content. If the hash already exists in the database, skip. Otherwise, chunk with 800 token chunks and 100 token overlap, embed with your chosen model, upset the document, and append an embedding run record with the document id, model name, and timestamp. Rerunning adds new documents, re-embeds changed ones, leaves unchanged documents untouched. Idempotent ingest is the difference between a weekly rebuild and a nightly cron job that never needs intervention. Query time retrieval has 3 decisions. Top K, start with 10 candidates. Rerank down to 5 into the prompt. Score threshold, drop results below 0.3 cosine similarity. No filler. Metadata filter, always tenant, often document type, sometimes date range. Never leak cross-tenant results. The filter clause is more important than the vector similarity. On screen, a pgvector hybrid query. Cosine similarity from the embedding comparison, BM25 score from Postgres full text search, weighted 70-30 by default. Why hybrid? Vectors miss on acronyms, on identifiers, on product names. BM25 catches them. The weight is tuned per corpus. Tech documents lean vector. Ticket titles lean BM25. Ranking. Step 1. Cheap record. Hybrid search returns top 20 candidates. Fast and slightly noisy. Step 2. Expensive precision. A cross-encoder ranker, for example, Cohere Rerank, scores each query document pair and keeps the top 5. Reranking adds 50 to 100 milliseconds of latency, but lifts precision at k equals 5 by 10 to 20 points on typical Bistec corpora. 3 metrics for retrieval quality. Precision at k of the top k results. How many are actually relevant? Target at or above 0.8 at k equals 5. Recall at k. Of all relevant documents in the corpus, how many appear in the top k? Target at or above 0.9 at k equals 10. Groundedness. Does the final answer cite retrieved text? Measure with an LM judge and spot check samples by hand. Use retrieval-augmented generation when you have a large evolving corpus, when users phrase queries fuzzily, when documents update frequently, when you have many tenants with their own documents. Skip retrieval-augmented generation and use model context protocol or structured queries when the data is deterministic and structured, when you need live system state like tickets and users, when data must not lag an index, or when the domain is small and stable enough to fit in the prompt. Week 10 deliverable. 3 artifacts. 1. An ingest script, idempotent, model tag, re-runnable, with a justified chunking strategy. 2. A hybrid retriever combining vector and BM25, tenant filter applied, top k configurable. 3. An evaluation set of 50 queries, precision at k equals 5 at or above 0.8, with results committed to the repository. Submit Friday. Week 11 adds model context protocol for structured data. Week 12 combines retrieval-augmented generation and model context protocol in a multi-agent pipeline, closing with the midpoint evaluation. The takeaway from week 10. Hybrid beats pure vector. Chunk deliberately. Measure precision at k equals 5. Retrieval-augmented generation is not all you need. Model context protocol fills the rest. Coming in week 11, when to use MCP instead of RAG, the transports, steer, HTTP, streamable HTTP, tool schemas that teach rather than confuse, and least privilege access with tenant filtering and audit logging. File today's training diary entry. See you in week 11.